Ryan Glover. I'm at Dallas Fort Worth International Airport. A little bit before my flight, I got an hour here, layover. I flew out of Midway, and I don't think they have any straight flights from Midway to LA, but I enjoy, stopping in Dallas. I visited the city of Dallas, and I think Dallas Fort Worth Airport is a very friendly airport. And I think one of the signs that you can notice the tell like of an airport is friendly is that they have these, which are courtesy phones. They don't have those at every airport. I find the places that are friendlier, such as Las Vegas, have courtesy phones and they can come in helpful in let's say your phone dies, you can't charge it, you lose your charger. Those courtesy phones really do come in handy, and I can greatly appreciate them. But I appreciate Dallas Fort Worth Airport. One of my favorite things is the fact that they have really great places most airports to get food. Here they got a coffee bar. You can see that's one of the options. Plaza Premium Lounge. Check that out. Yeah. And even further down, they have TGIF. And, if you don't want to sit down to eat at TGIF, you could actually get TGIF to go, which I feel is very convenient. I think convenience is very important because it's like in the airport, how much do you really want to eat? How hungry are you going to be? You really want just food that's more like convenience. I don't appreciate sometimes how high the prices are marked, but it's something, to take into consideration. So this is Terminal E. They have 6 terminals. I think they're building a Terminal F, but I've only really been at this terminal, but they also have a Jimmy John's, which is I have fond memories of Jimmy John's when I was in college, and I think that's perfect for airplane food because it's you don't want anything too heavy. I think something light, depending on your flight, the time of the day, it's the afternoon. So I don't really something heavy, but something like Jimmy John's do perfect right now. And they have the convenience machines, which is really cool. I think it's very important to be able to refuel, replenish yourself, and have food on the flight. Be hydrated. You don't want to be hungry or tired when you get to your next city because it's you won't be paying attention, won't make good decisions. But I'm enjoying waiting for my flight at the Dallas Fort Worth Airport, and probably one of my favorite airports to fly out of. My least favorite airport to fly out of is the airport in Atlanta Hartsfield. I feel that one of the things I feel about Atlanta is so busy all of the time. I know it's one of the busiest, if not the busiest airport in the nation. And just having had really great experiences with TSA in the past. I did have a good experience today, with Midway flying out with TSA. They were like, hey, your bags and stuff and everything, you don't even have to take off your shoes, just put in your electronic devices. I feel that can be convenient. I get tired of taking off my shoes and just being almost strip searched by TSA sometimes. Jamba Juice, another favorite, at the airport. Smoothies are always good. What are some type of foods that you guys like to eat when you guys travel, especially at the airport? What's your go-to? I'm leaving to go to LAX, which is another really good airport. I've spent a lot of time flying to LAX. It's my home now, and I really enjoy just living in Los Angeles. But I think one of the great things is like, LAX is like, a fantastic airport. Perhaps like probably my favorite is because, one of the things I really enjoyed about it, like when I first started going there, is like you occasionally see really big celebrities. You never know who you'll be on a flight with. I remember one time I was on a flight with DL Hughley. That was really cool. And I didn't approach him, but I ended up meeting him later in Burbank. I remember one time, me and my brother, I was dropping him off. He was late for a flight, and we saw Donald Glover on the way to the airport. So I think that's really neat. They when I was in the military, they had a really cool USO office. I think like the USO office is like really important, for active duty military, and it gives them a place where they can get a break and relax. And yeah. TGI Fridays. And I remember, flying out of Dallas, Fort Worth. I think the first time was when I was stationed in Greenville, Mississippi, when I was in the Coast Guard. And always had good experiences flying out of Dallas. I can't say the same for Atlanta, which is why it's one of my least favorite airports. And, I feel like everything here is like really simple. At the airport, they have an information center, which, you can basically inquire about like, the different services the airport has, which airlines, how long a walk is, the maps, the shops, the dining. They don't have this at every airport, but it's really helpful. And as you look, in Terminal E, they have 20 different restaurants. So you can eat at Taco and Tequila Bar, Chick-fil-A, Dickies, Sports 88, Dunkin' Donuts, Einstein Bros. Bagels, IHOP, Love Shack, Panda Express, Pete's Coffee and Tea, Sonny Bryan's Steakhouse, Smokehouse, Starbucks, TGI Fridays, Uno Do Go, Wendy's, Whataburger, Auntie Anne's, Av 8 Bar and Cafe, Jamba, and Jimmy John's. And Whataburgers is like a staple of Texas. I think that's really cool. So being in the airport, you could get a little bit of Texas into in Terminal E. It's just like very convenient. I feel like the Dallas Fort Worth airport is. And you could get a lot of different other services done as well in the airport. If you need newspaper, or if you need to charge your device, like they have charging stations, which some airports don't like necessarily have. They're very conveniently located. They have maps, so if you need to go to get to a different terminal, they have a Skylink, and very convenient. Like it's a big airport. So Terminal E is pretty large. Continuing to walk around. I think one of the first things that I'm looking for when I get off a plane is the restroom. Because after a long flight, and drinking, water, you gotta use the restroom. So I think it's convenient and just a really friendly place. Got a Gameway. I think you can actually play some games and stuff. And what more can you ask for though? Like at the airport, I think like you just want a comfortable experience. You want to, you want to be able to get to where you're going and not have to worry about too much. I think like that's really important. And being in Texas, see the Texas Apparel over there. They say everything's bigger in Texas. So this is my video. I'm in Terminal E of Dallas Fort Worth Airport. Let me know what you guys' favorite airport is. Some of the things like you like to do, like where you guys like to eat. Like when you're at the airport. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out some of my other videos, and just continue to check out my content. And I appreciate you guys for looking at this video. And hit me up on social media: Twitter, Ryan Glover 1982, Instagram, Ryan Glover 187, YouTube, Ryan Glover 5129. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.